Now that I have the large parts roughed out, I'm going to start milling them. The first thing I want to do is make a couple of templates so that I can use a router to cut multiple parts that'll be exactly the same. I have some fall off material that I can use to make the templates, but not a large enough piece to make the sawhorse. So I have a piece of plywood that I had in the shop. This has got a pretty good bow in it, but I'll still be able to use it for the template. So this material to make some of the templates will not be in the materials list, so you'll need to hopefully have some scrap in the shop. And again, I'm just using some 1/2-inch plywood to make the templates. I've laid out all of my cut lines, and it gets to making adjustments and getting it all dialed in, so I have some lines that I've scribbled out. What you want to make sure you do when you get started, you got a lot of cutting to do, and so it's a good idea to mark the areas that you're going to cut out, and any lines that were mistakes, squiggle them out, so that, because you start cutting and it can get confusing. So really good idea to really map it out. I'm going to start with the Festool track saw and the short track. This has turned out to be just invaluable. I use the short track more than the other two combined, and it just really comes in handy. There's no clamping, and I can just set the saw and make the cut.
To save a little time, I'm not going to show making the miter saw extension support router templates or using them, but the process will be exactly the same.
The first sawhorse template done, I'll be able to use this to make all 4 sides of the template. Even the tab that's shown here will not be on 2 of the horses, but since I've roughed them out this much shorter, I won't be cutting this edge on 2 of the horses anyway, so the inside dimensions will remain the same. So template 1, ready to go. So to make the supports adjustable for the miter saw extensions for various site conditions, I want to cut a long slot in the upper sections. And so what I've done is just set up a router bit, made a couple of marks for my starting point and my ending point. Now I'm just going to plunge them in and push them through. I could have used hardware store knobs, which would stick out a bit further than the piece of plywood I used. And they also, at the hardware store, they're a couple of dollars a piece. You can get them online for under $1, but in this case, I used scrap plywood and a 15-cent nut from the hardware store. So for 15 cents in a couple of minutes, I can save a bit of money and also have a little lower profile. And the lower profile is real handy when you've packed it up and you've put it in your truck. Instead of having these sticking out, they can catch on things. It's a little lower profile, and that's why I made these from 1/2 inch as opposed to making them from 3/4.